166 Charlie.
Is it possible that Sergeant Peterson is rationalizing his alleged actions to us? Did the pressures of his duties cause this incident? Stress can build up to incredible danger levels, causing the pressure to inevitably blow. The pressures placed on police officers are extremely high. Because of this, the odds that a police officer will commit suicide, assault, or even kill someone is much higher than that of any other occupational group. Let's hear the expert testimony of Chief Boyer of the Bozeman, Montana Police Department.
We talk a lot about divorce in police work and whatever, and which is probably one of the highest occupations that it is that. But we're subjected to working 24 hours a day, odd hours. Maybe you work all nights and weekends, holidays. You have a family, your wife doesn't know who you are when you come home because she's gone when you get home. Your kids pretty soon don't recognize you. Then she's not happy with your job or you. So that builds the stress on you, and hence it leads to a lot of broken marriages and whatever. I often said years ago, and I've been in this business for 23 years, that it's an ideal job for a single person, and it's not a good job for a married person. I think that a policeman work in an unusually stressful occupation because so many things happen at the a drop of a hat, if you will. 1 minute you may be driving around in your car, and the next second you get a call of a homicide. Okay, you don't know what's going to happen when you get there, so on the way you're thinking of all the things that can go wrong or what might be wrong, and as you are heading there, your blood pressure goes up, you start sweating, all the characteristics about the unexpected. So we face a lot of ups and downs and ins and outs in police work. Policemen have a tendency to get cynical after a few years, you know, and Mr. Nice Guy turns into an ogre when you work around people that are not nice in a lot of cases, which we deal with a lot of drunks and unrulies and disorderlies, and pretty soon you start treating your family like the criminal. You get real aggressive and real nasty to them, and pretty soon you're not a pleasant person to be around. A lot of marital problems. We've had several divorces over the years, and like I say before, the wife just couldn't cope with the husband's job, and so they split. Again, you know, everything is not honey and roses in here. There's a lot of wicked, bad things that you are subject to look at and go to. You gotta like being a policeman. Your wife's gotta like you to be a policeman. If one or the other doesn't, it will not work. So if the officers do have problems with it, there's people we can send them to without just keeping it within, you know. The best way to relieve some of that stress is to let it out, talk to somebody about it, hash it out, and severe, heavy counseling could be in order too.
My name is Warren Hebert, and I'm chaplain with the Gallatin County Sheriff's Department. I also work not only with the Sheriff's Department, the deputies, I also work with the Police Department, Bozeman Police Department, and I've offered my services to the Highway Patrol and to Belgrade, Manhattan, and Three Forks, so I'm a law enforcement chaplain for the Valley. My main responsibility in my job description basically is a staff assistant to the sheriff, and to work with the staff, with the men and women of the staff of the Sheriff's Department. And by doing that, I ride along on patrol, and that way it gives the deputies an opportunity to, well, like I tell some people, instead of going home and kicking the or cussing out the wife and kicking the dog, they can kind of do that to me. They can let down their hair, and they can kind of dump on me, yell at me, and that's what I'm there for. And at some point in time, hopefully before they break or before they do something foolish, they'll come to me and they'll say, "Hey, Chaplain, I'm ready to scream. You know, I'm ready to hurt somebody," and we can talk about it. We can sit down and try to understand why, what is building up the stress. And some of those signs would be sleeping a lot, withdrawal from just participating in things, an attitude of I don't care, and of course then marital problems are going to come from this. You're going to hear complaints from a spouse. Maybe not even writing tickets, just letting things go, letting things slide. Those would be just a few of the signs that I think you can see someone is maybe stressed out. Maybe going slow, even slow to a scene because they don't want to get involved. Maybe they're, and I've heard this happen before, where they've come upon an auto accident and they've had to be there. They're the first responder, and therefore it's much easier to kind of lag back a little bit. You know, let the ambulance crew get there. Let somebody else get there because I don't want to deal with it. Because I just don't want to deal with the stress. I can't see another person hurt or killed, or a child especially. You know, children really get our officers, especially if they have children of that same age, little children. Like I had one guy tell me one time, he says, "I just had to get out of town." He says, I was ready to explode. So he just took off, went to Billings, spent a night in Billings, in a motel, just to get away. And he said, "I just about called you." I said, "I wish you would have. I wish you would have called me, because then I could have ridden around with him in the patrol car. We would have gone and got some coffee, and he could have just kind of dumped on me." You know, that's one of the nice things about counseling, is I don't have to say anything. I can just listen, because they basically know what's right, and they'll work through it themselves. You know, and if I do need to help, you know, kind of channel their thinking, I do. But otherwise than that, I just listen. I try to understand, care.
Usually there's three sources of stress: frustration, conflict, and pressure. Many of these conflicts and frustrations, pressures, whatever, have a tendency to build up over the period of years or a period of time, and many times it's bottled up inside. And if this bottling up or this dealing with stress is not dealt with, then this pressure may explode in a working situation or against the family or some other acquaintance. Again, this bottling up of these emotions can have a detrimental effect on an individual. Many times in your responsibilities, in your duties and your work, you're not able to talk to your spouse about a certain matter because it's either confidential or something of a detrimental nature that you may not want to talk to them about. If they don't have someone to talk to, many of these things get bottled up and create a lot of tension, stress, and frustration. When an officer does experience a buildup of aggression, how does he release this? Many times this is in a negative way, unless he has come through counseling or discussion, learns how to deal with some of the problems in a positive manner. It may continue in this aggressive manner, and the aggressive manner may tend to get worse as time goes by.